Hi friends, once again I'm here with a small tip about growing kale in a hydroponic system. Kale generally requires a solution with electrical conductivity of 1.8 to 2.6, and here in our greenhouse the electrical conductivity that we have is between 1.2 to 1.8. This has been said predominantly because the most crops that we have here are different varieties of lettuce, and lettuce requires roughly around 1.2 to 1.6. So ours is generally around 1.5, and when the electrical conductivity is low, what happens is a particular plant may not receive the necessary nutrients from the solution, and therefore we can see here that the leaves of kale are turning yellow. This, this variety of kale is a red Russian variety, and then we have another variety which is kale hybrid mamba. Now both these varieties were sown on the 31st of December, and then we transplanted them on 13th of February. So it is almost a month today. And then what we have noticed is the leaves are turning yellow. And therefore I'm just trying to make an experiment. And what I will be doing is I will be transplanting these kale which were growing on these towers to the open field, and I want to see how they are growing in the open field. I would say the developments of the root is not bad, is actually quite very good, but then the roots were not able to take enough of nutrients. And then for the experiment we will be transplanting both the varieties. I am particularly picking those plants that have their leaves turning yellow, so that we can determine and see how these plants grow in an open field outside. Well, as I was picking up these varieties, I have noticed that they are having some pests, some aphids, and hopefully out in the sun they will disappear. I'm trying to take out the clips that were holding on the rock wool. Because I will be disturbing the roots a little, but I'm hoping that out in the field these will be able to grow better. I'm trying my best not to damage the roots. Okay, so here we are ready to transplant some of these kales from the greenhouse to the open field. Maybe for some time they may get a little bit of shock, but it is already 4 o'clock in the evening now, and I'm sure as the sun goes down, by next morning the plants will get adjusted. So this place is a hugel mound where wood chips and some logs and soil was mixed together, and these mounds were prepared. And so therefore I'm not going to add any nutrient. As you can see, the soil is black in color, sign of a rich soil. The soil is having a very nice structure which is soft. The soil smells really good, which is again a sign of a healthy soil. And therefore I will not be adding any nutrients to this soil. And yeah, I am transplanting this plant along with the rock wool, because if I try to take out the rock wool, the structure will be damaged, and therefore I'm just hoping that the plant will grow and the roots will spread as and how they want as time goes by. As I said, the soil is really healthy, so I'm sure I don't have to add any supplements for this plant. Although the leaves have turned yellow because of nutrient deficiency, but I'm sure this soil has got enough nutrients, and from those nutrients these crops, the kale, will grow healthily. What I have not done is I have not taken out any weeds from here. I am hoping to keep it as natural as possible. And yeah, this is sort of an experiment that I am doing just to know how well kale can grow in an open field as opposed to a greenhouse. And of course, because the EC is controlled there, I can see some earthworms here again, which is a sign of a healthy soil. And yeah, I have got some more plants to be transplanted, and I will, yeah, we can see that the leaves are yellow, and maybe I will come up with a video in 2 weeks time just to update you all about the progress and the development that is taking place in this plant, which is in its natural environment.